Well, good morning. Friday, December the 22nd. Let's see what we have on tap for today. Simone Gavros is at the Toronto Pearson Airport as the travel rush ramps up for Christmas.
Police are investigating a stabbing at Hamilton's Jackson Square.
Well, that didn't go very well. Maple Leafs in Buffalo. Show you the lowlights.
Cheer up, my friend, though.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm over it. It's all good. It's one game. They got hammered by the Sabres. What else is new? When they play in Buffalo, they always lose. I got better things to worry about today.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It is the final show of the year for all three of us.
Yes, it is.
So we are
There's still Morning Live next week.
Morning Live, yeah.
Yes.
And actually, we're going to talk more because there's a great kind of best of show coming up on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun putting that together. So please, if you're around Boxing Day, watch that at a usual time, 6 to 10. But yeah, last day for us. So looking forward to that. Cold start, Brian.
Well, it's appropriate for the first day of winter.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot chill. Yeah, yesterday morning at this time we were +1. This morning we're -4, wind chill -9. So it's a lot chillier this morning. Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah, so welcome to winter, by the way. First full day of winter. Yay. I know you're happy in that because you like the winter. But the rest of us, well, yeah, okay. We're looking for a milder day today, actually. Even though it's chilly right now, it is going to warm up as the day goes on. We should hit a +2 degree temperature today, better than we got to. Well, yesterday morning at this time we were +1, and the temperature sank throughout the day. But today we should climb to 2, and we'll have some sunshine for the day as well. So a mix of sun and clouds. The winds will lighten off a little bit, so that'll be nice today as well. And then, you know, it's interesting because when I look, and I will show you this later on, looking at the 7-day forecast coming up, which, as I said, I will show you, there isn't a minus number right straight through. Even overnight lows are not even in the minus column. So we'll talk about that coming up. Looking at traffic, it's Friday, it's light, and of course, being close to Christmas, it's even lighter. No problems, 403 Waterdown Road. To our MTO traffic cameras, and once again, just a few. Red Hill Creek camera, Toronto bound towards us. We'll look at the top of the Skyway Bridge. Toronto bound heading away from us now, and this is the QEW at Bronte, both directions doing fine. Weather and traffic, a quick check coming up. Right now, the news.
All right, thanks, Brian. Let's start in Hamilton because police are investigating a reported stabbing in Jackson Square downtown. A CHCH News freelancer says it happened around 11 o'clock last night. A victim was taken to hospital. At this time, no further details have been shared. We'll continue to follow this story.
One person's been taken to hospital after an apartment fire in Hamilton's Durand neighborhood. It happened just after 11 o'clock last night on Park Street near Bold. A CHCH News freelancer says a person was taken from one unit by firefighters, sent to hospital with smoke inhalation. There is significant damage to at least one apartment unit.
To St. Catharines now, more charges have been laid after that shooting there earlier this week. Back on Tuesday, 19-year-old man was shot in an alley between two homes near Hetherington Street. 18-year-old was tracked down to a nearby home where he eventually surrendered. After a search of that home and a vehicle, Niagara police seized about $50,000 worth of fentanyl, thousands of dollars in Canadian, American, and Jamaican cash, and a sawed-off shotgun. 18-year-old Tashawn Haynes now faces more weapons and drug charges. A 19-year-old woman from Niagara Falls has also been charged with obstruction of justice in this case.
Niagara police are warning about a rise in grandparent scams in St. Catharines. That's when a thief calls pretending to be a grandchild who's in trouble and needs money or needs gift cards. One victim lost $6,000. There have been 5 other attempts in the last few days. Investigators are reminding people not to give away personal information over the phone, and if in doubt, call police.
And Toronto's Pearson's International Airport says it's ready to welcome travelers for one of the busiest travel seasons and even travel day of the year after a difficult one last year. The airport expects to see around 160 passengers a day travel through the airport all this week. That's an increase of about 10% more passengers compared to the same time last year. You know, last year there were numerous delays, cancellations, and baggage backlogs after a major winter storm. There won't be any big storms this year, and Pearson says they're fully staffed and ready to go. Airport reminds travelers to arrive at the airport at least 3 hours before an international flight. Leave any gifts unwrapped and use Pearson's digital tools to have real-time travel updates. We'll get a Real update from Simone Gavros coming up hopefully in the next half hour.
Well, Caledonia's Catch the Ace continues. No one drew the ace of spades in the lottery last night. So that means next week, the jackpot's expected to reach more than $250,000. The winner of last night's weekly draw took home just over $11,000. That's not bad. Tickets are sold in person only at the Caledonia Legion on Thursdays from 2 in the afternoon until just after 7:30. The draw then takes place at 8 o'clock, and you have to pay for your tickets in cash. Proceeds from the lottery go to food programs run by the Community Support Centre, Haldimand, Norfolk.
So an update to a story we first reported yesterday. A Guelph journalist who was detained and stripped of his equipment by the OPP say he's looking to take action. Richard Vivian from local news outlet Guelph Today believes what happened to him was, quote, an overreach of authority. OPP say it was around 6 a.m. on Wednesday when they got to the scene of a crash on College Road in the Hanlon Expressway. They say a 65-year-old Guelph woman was killed when she was struck by a pickup truck at the major intersection. Vivian says as soon as he snapped a few photos when he got to the scene, an officer yelled at him to stop, then grabbed him by the wrist. After being detained for about 15 minutes, the officer released him, and the assigned coroner on scene agreed to give his camera but not his memory card back. The OPP say they are reviewing the circumstances. The Canadian Association of Journalists says the OPP and coroner violated freedom of the press.
I don't actually know the ins and outs of this because, again, nobody's ever heard of the coroner doing this before. So we're trying to figure out what the proper process for complaint and hopeful changes to the process.
So the officer, the chief coroner, said it doesn't comment on specific cases, but under the Coroner's Act, they say they have authority to seize anything the coroner has reasonable grounds to believe is material to the investigation. They add that they do understand concerns and are conducting a review of this.
Toronto is going to get over $470 million from the Federal Housing Accelerator Fund. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says that money will help Toronto fast-track 12,000 new homes over the next 3 years. They just won't be built as fast as this timeline photography there. And over 50,000 new homes will be built in Toronto over the next decade with this. The funds are also set to update old zoning rules, expand existing affordable renting programs, and build more homes near transit.
People who come here need to be able to afford to build a life and a family. People who were born here need to be able to succeed in the communities where they grew up. We're facing a shortage of housing right now. Whether you own or rent, the prices of homes have become way too high. And that is why we created the Housing Accelerator Fund to build more homes of all types faster.
Now, to get money under this $4 billion Housing Accelerator Fund, municipalities have to change bylaws and regulations to allow for more home construction.
The federal government has announced special measures aimed at helping Canadians and permanent residents get their extended families out of Gaza. The Ministry of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship announced that there would be an update on measures for people in Israel, the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. It will grant temporary visas to spouses, children, siblings, parents and grandparents of Canadian citizens and permanent residents. While the family definition isn't being expanded, the new measures aim to close gaps. The federal government is also making study permits and open work permits available for immediate family members. Mark Miller expects to have the temporary visa program up and running by January 9th.
3 days after strong winds tore through New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, thousands of people are still without power. Now, at its peak, this slow-moving rainstorm brought wind gusts of more than 90 kilometers an hour. New Brunswick Power is reporting 15,000 homes and businesses still offline because of extensive damage to its network. In Nova Scotia, another 15,000 customers are in the dark. Most of that due to a second windstorm of wind and freezing rain that moved into the area early yesterday. Well, the Hamilton Conservation Authority has acquired the final piece of land in the Salt Fleet Wetland Restoration Program. The property on Tapleytown Road means there are now more than 400 acres secured for this project. The Conservation Authority wants to create 4 wetland areas in Stony Creek and Battlefield Creek to deal with flooding and erosion. And they're also going to be adding new trails to the area.
All right, loads to get to in Sportsline. Let's start in Buffalo, where the Well, actually, many Maple Leaf fans made their way across the border to watch their beloved Buds face a struggling Sabres team who only needed a visit from the blue and white to feel better about themselves.
Hounded by Nylander, able to work it ahead at the end of the shift for him. Here's Thompson, scores! Tage Thompson off the glove, and again Buffalo leads by 2.
Buffalo coming off an embarrassing loss to Columbus where they allowed 9 goals, returned the favorite Toronto as they chased Ilya Samsonov from the net in the second. Tage Thompson put a 5th goal by him on a very stoppable puck. Samsonov going through some hard times, but Martin Jones, no better. He allowed 4 more for the first time since 2014. Toronto allowed a team to score 9. Buffalo hammers the Leafers 9-3 the final. Toronto's now dropped 2 straight. They head for Columbus tomorrow.
Dylan Strome through the seam. Ovechkin fires. Score! The great wait is over.
Perfect call for the Capitals broadcaster because the great wait is over for the great 8, Alex Ovechkin, mired in the longest slump of his career that lasted 14 games, but he scored in overtime to lift Washington to a 3-2 win over Columbus. Now with 6 goals in the season, 67 behind Wayne Gretzky for the all-time record.
Fell down but kept it alive, finds Taves. Alex McKinnon faked the one-timer. Wrist shot, he scores!
Speaking of records, Nathan McKinnon set a Colorado Avalanche record last night in their win over Ottawa. He recorded the first ever 4-goal game for the franchise in this 6-4 come-from-behind win. He also extended his point streak to 17 games, tying Willie Nylander of the Leafs for the longest this season in the league. Trouble for the Sens continue. They dropped a 6th straight game. Ooh. All right, to Oklahoma City, where Hamilton's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was doing his nightly thing. This time against Kawhi Leonard and the LA Clippers, who came to town on an 8-game winning streak. That streak is over. Thanks to SGA's 31 points as he helps the Thunder to a 134-115 win. OKC, they're good. They're 18-8. That is second in the Western Conference. To baseball, and the rich just get richer. Reports say the LA Dodgers, after winning the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes, have signed the most sought-after free agent pitcher, also from Japan. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has agreed to a 12-year, $325 million contract and will come to Major League Baseball after being the best pitcher in Japan for the past number of seasons. The Blue Jays were said to be finalists. Yay! That makes us feel so good. Check out who was at the LA Rams game last night to kick off Week 16. Oh, there's Shohei sporting the Rams number 17 jersey. Probably very happy with the Dodgers move. Probably also enjoyed the Rams Thursday night win over the New Orleans Saints. Matt Stafford tossed a couple of touchdown passes. There's one of them right there. And Kyren Williams would run for 104 yards and a touchdown that he would give to his mom in the stands afterwards. There's mom right there. Ah, that's nice. 30-22 win for the Rams. Bills are in LA tomorrow for a date with the Chargers on Saturday night.
Away we go into this Friday morning, 22nd of December, 6:13 is the time right now. To our exclusive camera, this is our camera we put up around Waterdown Road, and you're not seeing any problems on the 403 whatsoever. To our MTO traffic cameras, and once again, starting in St. Catharines around the 406 and the QEW, nothing. Red Hill Creek still doing fine. West of Brant Street, so Toronto-bound lanes heading away from us at the moment. Here's the Ford plant. Looks good all the way through Cawthra. No problems there, right there. The only collision that we have this morning is on Highway 10 in Caledon. We have problems. We've got a complete closure of Highway 10 between King and Lower Baseline in the Caledon area. All right, let's get to our temperature right now. It's improved by 1 degree. We're -3 at the moment. We were -4. So the winds are fairly light, northeast at 18, a lot better than they were yesterday. They were gusting to over 40. But we do have a mainly cloudy sky to start the day. Air quality today, once again, in the low risk category. No problems for morning or afternoon. School today, last day of school before Christmas. We're looking at 2 degrees, so a milder day today and a sunny day today, just a mix of sun and clouds. We've got an approaching low pressure system that's going to spread some cloud cover, chance of showers or freezing rain overnight. And then tomorrow, it looks like rain during the day. Could be heavy at times, but we're looking at milder temperatures starting to pull in, and the temperatures are going to go way above seasonal. Today, better than yesterday, 2 and 3 degrees with mainly cloudy to a mix of sun and clouds for the day today. Tonight, showers possible, even chance of some Freezing rain. Temperatures anywhere from 0 to -1 to +1 for the Horseshoe, -2 for Guelph and Kitchener. And tomorrow, there's that chance of freezing rain early in the morning, but 4 and 5 degrees tomorrow, and rain settles in throughout the day, 3 and 4 for Peel into Toronto. So as you step out the door, 22nd of the month, we're looking at mostly cloudy. It's chilly, -3. Wind chill, though, -9. Long range coming up. Annette, Tim.
Well, there's our friend Emily Vukovic.
Hi. Unlike you guys, I will be here next week.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Someone has to do it.
Well, here's the thing. You're not here on, well, we're all here, so we should say this too. So Boxing Day, we will have a live show. We will have news and stuff.
Live news, yes.
Technically, but then we have the best of show, which you're involved in.
Yes.
And then we're off next week.
Our
so.
segments are pre-taped. Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had way too much fun
Like,
recording that.
way too much fun.
Way too much fun.
In full piece pajamas and slippers.
Brian was in pajamas. That's
Yes.
just, you got to
That's
tune in for
enough.
that.
That's reason enough.
Yeah, what do you got? What do you got?
Okay, so for Chit Chat, we're talking about they finally found a host for the Golden Globes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if anyone's going to know who it is.
Yeah.
But they have a host. And Mark Wahlberg, his new movie on Apple TV is huge. We'll tell you how huge. coming up.
Okay.
Cool. We'll see you in a bit. Coming up after the break, did you hear about this? The popular donut franchise Krispy Kreme? It's coming to Hamilton. See you in a couple minutes.
Emily just heard it.
All right, here's some numbers for you on your Friday. Canadian dollar is up 3 basis points this morning, sitting at 73.31 cents U.S. Gold up big time, almost $15. 20.66 an ounce. Crude oil up 71 cents, 74.60 a barrel. Hey, Europe. Merry Christmas, Europe. It's been good hanging with you all year. Markets are up in London, down in Frankfurt and Paris.
In Asia, the markets were up in Tokyo, but down in Hong Kong and Shanghai. Check American markets here, triple-digit gains across the board.
Oh, I hope you're good on this Friday morning. The rumors, you hear these rumors? Yeah, well, they're true. Krispy Kreme is currently in the permitting stages of opening a new location in Hamilton. The company's chief growth officer expressed excitement about bringing a new Krispy Kreme theater hub on Rymal Road in Hamilton and confirmed the move to us here at CHCH. So they say that there's no specific timeline available. It's still in the early development process, but more details are expected next year. The closest Krispy Kreme to Hamilton now is in Mississauga.
Honda is recalling nearly 300,000 vehicles in Canada. It's because the fuel pump could fail. If that happens while you're driving, the vehicle could suddenly lose power. There haven't been any crashes, though, related to this recall. It involves 2017 to 2020 models of Honda and Acura, including Accord, Fit, Civic, Odyssey, and RDX. About 2.6 million vehicles sold in the U.S. are part of that recall.
The Canadian Transportation Agency, that is, has penalized Air Canada for violating disability regulations. The $97,500 fine comes as the agency says Air Canada failed to help a wheelchair user disembark its plane back on August the 30th. So the BC man who has spastic cerebral palsy and can't move his legs was forced to drag himself off a flight in Las Vegas this past summer. Air Canada has 30 days to request a review before the Transportation Appeal Tribunal of Canada.
Canada's finance minister has approved RBC's $13.5 billion takeover of HSBC Canada. Chrystia Freeland's approval comes with conditions, though. Among them, none of HSBC Canada's 4,000 employees can be fired within 6 months of the closing date or 2 years for frontline staff. Banking services must also continue at a minimum of 33 HSBC branches for 4 years. Freeland's approval was the last hurdle for the deal after the Competition Bureau approved it in September.
Annette, I think the Christmas spirit got me.
You think so?
I'm just very happy today.
I am too.
Yeah, I hope you're happy too at home and hoping you enjoy the show. We got a really good program for you. There was some traffic on the road. We both noticed this coming in. Maybe
increase in the city and on the highway.
Might have something to do. Maybe people are going to the airport. We'll check in with Simone coming up.
Yeah.
We'll also check in with Brian. We know we're not getting a white Christmas. How warm is it going to be?
We'll make the best of it.
Yeah, for sure.
6:24 is the time. Let's go right to our MTO. That's Ministry of Transportation Ontario. Traffic cameras. Here's the QEW and Highway 405. And again, very light volume through St. Catharines this morning. Top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, obviously busier Toronto bound going away from us on this camera, but no problems. Bronte Road looks good. Erin Mills Parkway through Mississauga. We'll dip into the 403 going through Mississauga. This is just west of 10. And that's wide open at the moment, so nothing happening on the roads. Temperatures right now, it's chillier this morning than it was yesterday morning at this time. Grimsby, the warm spot, -1, but -3 for Hamilton. Wind chill -9, so it's a chilly start. -4 Mississauga and for Toronto. Seasonals this time of year are -7 for the overnight low. So even though it's chilly start, it's above seasonal. 0 for the daytime high. Those are our sun times and records for today. So for school today, -1 by the first bell, mix of sun and clouds, and the plus side later on today, +2 for after school. Now, today, the first full day of winter, we're climbing to +2, and we will have the sunshine. Enjoy the sunshine today because we don't have it coming up for a number of days. But what the interesting thing is to see here, we are in the latter time of December into the first day of winter. There is not a minus number on that 7-day forecast, even on the overnight lows. Look how mild it's going to be. Rain and 4 tomorrow, 7 and cloudy on Sunday for Christmas Eve day. Christmas Day, 9 degrees and cloudy, and then rain settles in for Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperatures stay on the mild side even all the way through Thursday. Let's look at your forecast. Annette, Tim. Yep, Santa's doing it.
He's waving. He's waving.
But he's working. He's not dancing.
True.
He's working.
Right.
He's
But if Santa's waving at you, you got to wave back at Santa.
Yeah.
Hi, Santa. Hi, Santa. Hi, Santa. Okay. Speaking of Santa, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, not only guards the skies all year, but also has a very special mission coming up on Sunday, December the 24th. That is tracking Santa. Annette.
The festive adventure started in 1955 when a child misdialed and reached NORAD instead of the North Pole. A colonel who was working there at the time turned that into a tradition, and now NORAD tracks Santa every year. Millions of people from more than 200 countries follow the Santa tracking website, and over 130,000 calls are expected to the NORAD Track Santa hotline. NORAD Santa tracking begins at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on December 24th, so that's Sunday afternoon. You can visit their website or the app to follow Santa's journey around the world, and it's pretty cool. So I was just on the website now, and they've already got like games that you can play, and it's cool how many corporations fund this. So that there's no government costs.
Have you ever watched it live? Like, it's great watching it with the kids because you can see where Santa, always in New Zealand now, always in Australia, always in Europe, and then the presents are piling up too.
Well, on days when we've had like a show on the 24th, because it's already started, we've done that.
You've shown it live too. I'd like to be on some of those calls. There'd be some good calls in there too. All right.
I remember as a kid, like listening to it on the radio, going home, going to my grandparents from church. My parents would have the radio on, and I don't know, gotta listen. Where is he?
Oh, what a magical time of the year. Okay, we got a pretty magical show coming up, so stick around if you could. I thought that was a pretty good half hour.
Let's do another one.
All right, fine.
And another one.
Shall we?
Another one.
Yeah, let's do that.